Today I am going to introduce a new kind of writing. We have talked about narrative writing. We have talked about informative writing. Today we are going to talk about persuasive writing. These are very big words, so let's look at them one at a time. Before we talk about persuasive writing, I am going to tell you what I mean by narrative writing. Narrative writing is when we tell a story. When we tell a story, there are characters. Sometimes the characters are talking and we put what they are saying inside of quotation marks. But when someone is not talking inside quotation marks, what we are reading is the narrator. The narrator is not in the story. He is telling the story. The narrator is saying things like, "Once upon a time, there lived a little girl with a Red Riding Hood." He is telling us about the setting. He is telling us about what is happening, but he is not a character. So narrative writing is when we tell a story. When we tell a story, it could be something that is fiction, which means it did not really happen. It is just pretend. Or it could be nonfiction. It could be a story of something that happened in our own life that is true. Like the story about the day I went outside to play in the snow and made a snowman. But whether it is fiction or nonfiction, when we write a story, things happen in a certain order. And so we would begin by saying something like one day, or in the beginning, or once upon a time, and then the events in our story, we could show that they are going in a specific order or sequence by using transition words like first, next, after that, then, finally, for the last thing that happens, or in the end. So when we are doing narrative writing, we can see that we are going to use a certain list of transition words. The other kind of writing is informative writing. With informative writing, we are writing to inform or to give information. To inform means to give information. You can see the word inform right there, and also right here, inform. Inform means to give information. What is information? Information means things that we can know, things we can learn. When we are writing to inform, we want to have a main idea, and we want to give a few details about our main idea. Usually we want to give about 3 details about our main idea. So when we are doing informative writing, we will have a main idea with 3 details. And the transition words we will use are different from first, next, last, because usually it does not matter what order we say the details in. We could say this one first, and then this one, and then this one, or this one first. We can choose. Once we choose, the transition words we will use for informative writing are going to be like to begin with, in addition, also, as you can see. Let's see if we can get all of these on here. So for informative writing, we would use, that's a lot of words I'm trying to put on here at the same time. Let's see if I can get them. For informative writing, We would have a main idea and details, and our transition words would be to begin with, in addition, also, as you can see. And we would use the Foursquare to help us with this. But when we are doing narrative writing, where we have characters who might be talking, we're telling a story, our transition words are going to be words that show things have to go in a certain order. First, next, then, after that, finally. Don't have it quite all on the same page. How's that? Still can't quite get them all on there. How about that? Well, that's a lot to put on one page. What I want you to see is that we have two kinds of writing so far. We can tell a story, and we call that one narrative writing. And the transition words we're going to use are one day or in the beginning, first, next, after that, then, finally, in the end. Or we have informative writing that has a main idea with some details, usually 3, and our transition words will be to begin with, in addition, also, as you can see. When we are doing informative writing, we might be asked to do some different things. So here are some words that we might be asked to use or to do. If we are asked to inform, we want to give information to our reader. We want to teach them about something. We're going to be giving them some facts, some things they can learn about something. If we are asked to describe, they want us to give a description. When we are describing, we are painting a picture using words. We want our reader to feel like they are right there and can see the setting that we are describing. If we are describing a camping trip, we would say, the lake was blue, the sun was out, the sky was bright. If we want the reader to know what sounds they can hear, we would say, the birds are singing, the squirrels were making noise in the trees. If we want the reader to know what it smells like, we would say, there was a beautiful scent of the flowers in the air, or the trees. It's a little hard to use smell. We could smell the beautiful scent of the evergreen trees or of the flowers. So we would be helping the reader to know what the setting looks like, sounds like, smells like, feels like, and that could help the reader to feel like they are right there and they can see it in their mind, even though they're not right there. So that is giving a description. We would use this a lot with narrative writing when we are telling a story. We might be asked to explain or to give an explanation. When we are explaining, we are helping someone to understand something. We could explain how to do something. We could explain why something happened. We could explain what we are thinking. We are helping someone to understand. We are being like a teacher. We might be asked to argue something, to give an argument. An argument is when two people do not agree. If we are giving an argument, we are trying to get the other person to agree with us. We are trying to persuade them to have the same opinion as us. This is the kind of writing we are going to talk about today. This is the kind of writing that is called persuasive writing. So we will look at that in a minute. Something else we might be asked to do when we are writing is to compare and contrast two different things. We have learned some of the words we can use when we are doing this kind of writing to show that we are comparing and contrasting two different things and explaining how they are the same and how they are different. To show how they are the same, we might use the word both. Both do this, or both are this. Or we could say both of us do this, or both of us like this. Using that word both is showing how two things are the same. We can use words like but or even though to show how two things are different. We could have one sentence about one thing and then another sentence, and we connect them by turning this period into a comma, adding the word but, and then giving this sentence here. And that makes one compound sentence. Or we could use even though. It does the same thing, but we call it a complex sentence. And the only difference with this one is we don't use a comma if we put this in the middle, and we do use a comma if we put this at the beginning. But using words like but and even though help us see how two things are different. Okay, we are going to talk a little bit then about this new kind of writing where we want to change someone. Well, let me show you this word. This word is persuade. You can see how this is the same as, let me find the paper. Here it is. I said the new kind of writing that we're going to do today is called persuasive writing. And you can see this word right in here. Persuade, persuade. This is the verb. To persuade someone is to change their mind. What does that mean, to change their mind? The mind is inside our head. We use it to do thinking. Everyone who has a mind will be thinking about things. And when you are thinking about things, then you make opinions. An opinion is what you think about something, how you feel about it. An opinion is different from a fact. We use facts when we are giving main ideas with details that we talked about for informative writing, when we are giving information about something. And so, but when we are going to persuade someone or do persuasive writing, we are talking about opinions. Well, what is the difference between a fact and opinion? An opinion is how we feel about something. It is different from a fact. For example, a dog can be a pet. That is a fact. A cat can be a pet. That is a fact. But one person might say that dogs are better pets than cats. That is an opinion. The other person might disagree. They might say, no, a cat is a better pet than a dog. That is their opinion. Neither one is right or wrong. It is just their opinion. Pizza is a food. That is a fact. Hamburger is food. That is a fact. If I say pizza is better than hamburger, That is an opinion. Some words that can help us know if something is an opinion or a fact are words like this. If you hear someone say, "This is best," "This is better than that," "This is the worst," "This is worse than that," anything that ends with est, like easiest, anything that ends with like easier, or more than, than, like more fun than, or the most of all, the most fun of all. When we see words like this, we are probably looking at someone's opinion. Some of them could be facts. For example, I could say that one person is taller than another person, and that could be a fact. But when we are talking about opinions, we will often use these type of words to say, well, I think that this is more fun than that. I think that going to the amusement park is the most fun of all. I think that reading is easier than writing. I think that blueberries taste better than strawberries. These are my opinions, and I will use words like this to help explain what my opinion is. If you are asked to write about your opinion, you do not want to be thinking, what is the right answer? There is no right answer. You can have an opinion. You can have any opinion you want, but you need to give reasons for your opinion. What is a reason? I have a card on that. A reason answers the question, why? Why do I have this opinion? So my reasons will be because, because, We call our reasons, for reasons we use this word, evidence. Evidence means the reasons that we have an opinion. We can use examples of why we have that opinion. We can use data, which is numbers, that help show our reasons and examples are good ones. These are types of details that we would put under our opinion. So with this word evidence, you might hear a teacher say, support your opinion with evidence. And what that means is that if this is your opinion, you need to give 3 details or reasons or examples about why your opinion is a good one. If your reasons are good, if you have good examples, if you have some data, then that gives evidence that your opinion is a good one. And if you can give good evidence of your opinion, then you can help the person who is reading your paper or listening to you agree with you. So we use this word agree and disagree when we are talking about opinions. If I say, for example, that pizza is better than hamburgers, you might agree with me. If you disagree with me, which means you do not agree with me, then you might argue with me, or I might argue with you. We would have an argument. An argument is when 2 people are talking and they do not have the same opinion. So let's go back to opinion for a minute. Let's say that you are asked to write a paragraph about which subject at school you think is the best one. we're going to get out our Foursquare, and I have already started one here for us. And I could say, okay, let's see. I think math is the best subject. So I'm going to say math. I can put that into a sentence, and I can say, I think math is the best subject. That is my opinion. That is not a fact. It is a fact that math is a subject, but it is my opinion that math is the best subject. And you can remember from my card here, best is one of those words we might use when we're talking about an opinion. Well, I can't just say, I think math is the best subject unless I could say that, but I want to support my opinion with evidence. And remember, evidence is when I give some reasons or some examples. So I'm going to have 3 reasons or examples or details about my opinion. Remember, a reason just answers the question, why do I think that math is the best subject? So I could say, well, it's fun to be challenged. Challenged means I have to do a lot of thinking because it's a hard problem. It's not easy. It's like figuring out a puzzle or figuring out a riddle. I have to really think about it, and maybe I think that's fun. Maybe I could say it's helpful or it's useful because we have problems in real life. Sometimes we learn things in school that don't really help us in real life, but learning how to do math can help us. We can use it. It can help us. So we say helpful, useful, because we do have problems in real life that we need to be able to solve. And I could say that I like it being numbers because then I don't have to know the language. Numbers is the same in any language. So now I have 3 reasons, and then I would put my last sentence, my concluding sentence here. So maybe my paragraph would be, I think math is the best subject. It is fun to be challenged by problems that need to be solved. It is also useful to learn because there are real problems in life. Best of all, numbers are the same in any language. As you can see, I like math a lot. And that would be my paragraph. This would be my first sentence, my second sentence, my third sentence, my fourth sentence, and my fifth sentence. I would try to use some transitions. I do not need to use one at the beginning of every sentence, but I want to remember that I put to begin with here, and in addition here, and also here. So my paragraph could be, I think math is the best subject. To begin with, it is fun to be challenged by problems that need to be solved. That's what math is. Math is problems that need to be solved. In addition, it is useful. It is a useful skill to learn because there are real problems in life. I could say also, or I could say something similar like best of all, Numbers are the same in any language! Exclamation mark. As you can see, I like math a lot. This would be a very simple paragraph of 5 sentences that gives my opinion, and it gives 3 reasons. I am writing this paragraph to share my opinion and to support my opinion with evidence, but I am not writing this paragraph to try and change someone else's mind. I am not trying to argue or persuade someone to have a different opinion. If they want to like a different subject, that's okay. Maybe someone else says that they like music the best. What would that look like? They would say, I think music is the best subject. Subject means the different classes that we take at school. And then they need to come up with 3 reasons also. Remember, what is a reason? It answers the question, why do I have this opinion? Why can I say this? Because, and then I give my reason. When we have an opinion, we like to do things in 3s. So if this is my opinion, I will have 3 reasons. A reason is like a detail that supports the main idea. When I give reasons, what I am doing is I am supporting my opinion with evidence. Evidence means the reasons that I have for my opinion. And to help those reasons, if we will talk about this in a minute, but if I want to persuade someone that my reasons are so good, they should change their mind and have the same opinion as me, then it would help if I have examples and data that show my reasons are really good. They make a lot of sense. But for just doing a paragraph with our opinion, we just need to give 3 reasons, and that is supporting our opinion with evidence. There's our 3 reasons. So let's see what the reasons might be for thinking that music is the best subject. Well, we might say, it gives me a chance to be creative. Creative is creating things like making art, making music, making a story, using my imagination in my mind to come up with a picture I want to paint, or music I want to make, or a story I want to tell. We say that music and art gives us a chance to be creative. Also, writing stories, a narrative story, gives us a chance to be creative. I could say that it makes me smile. It makes me happy. It gives me joy. It helps me relax. So it's good for how I feel. And I like the one about language. I like the fact that music, like art, can be understood in any language. We do not need to know Chinese or English or Spanish. We can just listen to the music. I think of it like a universal language. That means everyone in the entire world can hear music, and it can make them feel happy or relaxed or good. And so I will just say, as you can see, I love music. This is a very simple paragraph with 5 sentences. I have not turned my ideas, my reasons, into sentences yet. I need to do some thinking about that. But my paragraph would be something like, I think music is the best subject. It gives us a chance to be creative. It lets me be creative. I can be creative when I make music. It makes me smile. It helps me relax and feel joy. It can be understood in any language. I could just put it here. It can be understood and felt. Felt means how do I feel in any language. As you can see, I love music. I can go back and add my transition words to begin with. In addition, also, I think music is the best subject. To begin with, it gives me a chance to be creative. Check. In addition, it makes me smile and helps me relax. Check. That's when I cross it off, right? Also, it can be understood and felt in any language. Check. As you can see, I love music. Check. So this paragraph has my main idea, which is my opinion. And then I have 3 reasons. This is reason number 1. This is reason number 2. And this is reason number 3. And my reasons are like the details. These are like the 3 details supporting my main idea. To make a fancier conclusion, I could say something like, as you can see, I love music because it helps me be creative. This one is from here. Be happy. That's here. And this one will be a little bit harder. How about and maybe be understood. So you can see this, oops, did I just write on my table? This is my green square, and creative is my key word, and that's right here. This is my purple square, and my keyword is, well, these I'm using happy for smile, be happy. And this is my orange square. I'm trying to take a top off a pen that doesn't have a top. And my keyword here is understood, be understood. I want you to notice that when I am making a list of 3 things, I try to have it be like a pattern. You see, each of these start with the word be, be, be. It's be, and then an adjective. Be, and then an adjective. Be, and then an adjective. This one's a tricky word. I'm not going to try to explain that one today. But number 1, comma, number 2, comma, and number 3. So this is 1, 2, 3 that go with these 3 reasons. So here I have my main idea and then my 1, 2, 3 reasons in my concluding sentence. But if all I write is I love music, that's fine. So in this paragraph, whether it's music or whether it's math, I give my opinion and then 3 reasons. I am not trying, the person who likes math is not trying to change the mind of the person who likes music. They are just giving their opinion. But let's say that you really want to get the person who is reading your paper or listening to you talk to change their mind and have the same opinion as you. For example, let's say you are asked to write a letter to someone or to tell your opinion to someone. You might be, or you are probably being asked to be persuasive, to persuade that person. Let's look at that word again. Let's see. If you have an opinion and you want to change the mind of the person who is listening to you that has a different opinion from you, you want them to agree with you. You want to persuade them. Okay, so if they disagree with you, okay, we want to change their mind so that they will agree with you. That's what we're going to do with persuasive writing. Well, how can we do that? Think about if you and your brother or sister want to watch a movie, but each of you want to watch a different movie, then you do not agree on which movie to watch. You might argue about it. Each of you might say, my movie is a better choice because. You want to win the argument. You want the other person to say, fine, we will watch the movie you want. When you are trying to win an argument, I have to see where my words are here. I have so many little pieces of paper today. Where did I put the one I'm looking for? I don't know where I put it. Maybe it's on, oh, here it is. When you are trying to win an argument, you are trying to persuade the person to change their mind and have the same opinion as you. Being persuasive is getting someone else to think about things the same way that you do, to agree with you, to see that your opinion is a good one. And the way that you're going to do that, the way that you can persuade them, is to support your opinion with really good evidence. That means you are going to need really good reasons with examples and data. The reason data can be helpful is because data can be facts that are hard to disagree with. If you measure something and you have a number, then people can't disagree with that. That becomes a fact. So if you can support your opinion with facts, then you are going to make a really good argument and you will end up being very persuasive. So to do our persuasive writing, we are going to have our opinion, and then we'll have our 3 reasons, and then for each reason, we are going to give examples. For each reason, we will give 3 examples. So instead of having sentence number 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, sentence 4, we will have paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4. And for each paragraph here, the reason will become the main idea of its own paragraph with 3 examples. And this reason will become the main idea of its own paragraph with 3 examples. And the same thing here. And you know, the way that we do that is with the 4 square. So we can use the 4 square to write 1 paragraph with 5 sentences, or to write 5 paragraphs. So let's see, for our example today, I have a fun one. Let's say you want your parents to buy you a bike. How can you convince them that getting you a bike is a good idea? If you just say to them, I want a bike, it will be fun. I might fall down a lot and I might break my arm, but that's okay. I might ride the bike into the road and get hit by a car, but that's okay. I want a bike. Or maybe I might park the bike and then forget where I put it, and then it will be lost. But I still want a bike. Do you think they will want to get you a bike if you give them those reasons? Right? I might get hurt. I might break it. I might break my arm. I might lose the bike. Those are not the kind of reasons that are going to persuade your parents to buy you a bike. So before we give them reasons, before we think about our reasons, we need to pretend to be our parents for just a minute. And we need to think about, what does my parent want for me? My parent is always telling me, Mom is always telling me what? To be more responsible, to be healthy, to get exercise, to stop watching so much TV, to learn new things. These are the things that they want for me. So what if I told them that getting me a bike would help me do all of these things? It would give them everything they want for me. If they want me to be responsible, hey, get me a bike. That will help me be more responsible. If you want me to be healthier, hey, get me a bike. That will help me be more healthy. Hey, do you want me to get exercise? Get me a bike. That will help me to get exercise. Hey, do you want me to stop watching so much TV? Get me a bike. That will help me spend less time watching TV. These would be good reasons to give Mom and Dad, because then they would think that getting me a bike is a great idea, because it would give me everything that they want me to have. The chance to be more responsible, healthier, and so forth. So, if we want to be persuasive, if we want to do persuasive writing, we are going to give our opinion. We are going to give the reasons. That will help someone else who has a different opinion to want to agree with us. And to do this, we need to think about what their different opinion might be. We need to think about what is important to them. We need to make sure that the reasons we give are the reasons that will make them think it is what they want for us too. Okay, so we have to remember that our main idea is going to be saying our opinion about what we want or what we believe, what we want the other person to agree with. We want to change their mind so that they think this also. And we are going to support our opinion with evidence. That is going to go here, here, and here. Our evidence starts with I have too many cards. Our evidence starts with our reasons. And then for each reason, we're going to give some examples. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that for the bike. This persuasive writing about the bike is something I did with my third graders in New York many years ago. And I have the example right here. You can see it's from a long time ago. And I'm going to be using that to help me show you today. So I start here in the middle by saying, now remember, I am going to write this to my parents. So I would probably start by saying, Dear Mom and Dad. When I'm doing persuasive writing, I always need to remember who am I talking to, because I'm always trying to think about what do they want? You know, what is their argument? I need to pretend I'm telling, like with the movie, If you really want to watch a certain movie and your sister or brother wants a different one, do you know what reasons they're going to give? Do you know what they're going to say? Yeah, because you know them, right? And so when you know what they're going to say, it can help you know how to make a better argument. So, dear mom and dad, they are called the audience. I'm going to just write this word here so you know that word. Audience is the person or people who are listening to you or who are reading what you're writing. And you always need to keep in mind who the audience is, right? If you're writing a story for kids who are 5 years old or writing a story for kids who are 15 years old, you would write a different story. You would use different words. You would have the characters doing different things. So we always think about who are the people who are listening to us. And in this story today, the audience is just mom and dad. So I tell them a new bike would be a great gift for me. Okay, the key words in this main idea is that I want a new bike. And my opinion is that it would be a great gift. Okay, so that's what I want. This is my opinion. It would be a great gift for me. All right, now remember that we are going to have one reason here. We will have one reason here. We will have one reason here. And for each reason, we're going to give 3 examples. Okay, so I know that my mom and dad want me to get exercise because that's a healthy thing to do. So I'm going to call that healthy exercise. I also know they want me to be more responsible. Responsible means making good decisions. They also want me to have fun. Okay, I have to be careful what I put here though for fun, but I know that moms and dads usually want their kids to have fun also. Okay, so now I want my examples for healthy exercise. Well, I could say riding my bike will make my muscles stronger, right? It makes my muscles stronger. Having strong muscles can help us do more work. Like someone with a strong muscle might be able to lift a bike. And someone who does not have a strong muscle, maybe they can only lift a pillow, right? What is heavier takes more muscle to lift. What is lighter takes less muscle to lift. So muscles get stronger when we are exercising. Then we can lift more things and do more things. And our heart in our body is a type of muscle, and we want our heart to be strong. So we could say, this is good for my heart. We want to take care of our heart. And also, it keeps my bones strong. Exercise is very good for us. And riding a bike is great exercise. Well, let's see. If I have a bike, I would take care of it, right? If it gets dirty, I would clean it. Let's see. This one I need to explain because this is not something I don't think we do this in Taiwan. Use it for my paper route. So when I was a kid, the way that people got their newspaper is one kid on the street would, every morning, someone would come to the house, like my brothers had a paper route. So every morning, someone who works for the newspaper company would come to our house and leave maybe 20 or 30 newspapers outside our front door. And then my brother would get up early and go outside to get those 20 or 30 newspapers. He would get on his bike and he would ride around the road where we lived and put one newspaper at each house. He would just put it in front of their door. And then when they woke up, they would open their front door and their newspaper would be right there for them. So the 20 or 30 houses that he went to was his paper route. If you don't have a bike and you have a paper route, then you have to walk. But if you have a bike, you can do it faster. Something that I used a bike for was going to my piano lessons. Use it as the bike to go to my piano lessons, because my piano lesson was at a neighbor's house. And I could walk there, but if I have a bike, I could ride my bike to go to my piano lessons. Using the bike to do these things, where this is an example of being responsible, because I'm using it to help me for a good reason. When I have a piano lesson, I'm learning something. When I'm doing my paper route, I'm also being responsible. So these are some examples of how having the bike could help me be more responsible. Now let's do fun. I could go on bike rides with my friends. Right? One of the reasons my mom and dad don't want me to just sit and watch TV all day is because then I'm not being with friends. I'm just being by myself. But going on a bike ride with friends is they would really like that, because then I am doing things with friends. Now, when I was a little girl, my brothers and I every Saturday morning would go to the Little League park. It was a baseball field where my brothers played baseball games. And so we can walk there, or if we have a bike, we can ride our bike there. And that is fun to play baseball. So ride to the park to play ball. And here's a really good one. I love this reason. I'm being very, I'm kind of smiling when I write this down. I'm saying this would be more fun than TV! Exclamation mark. Why am I saying that? I am saying that because I know that my mom and dad want me to stop watching so much TV. And I could say, hey, get me a bike. And you know what? This would be more fun than TV. So I would watch less TV. So it's, get me a bike and it will give you, Mom and Dad, what you want for me. And then for my concluding sentence, I'm going to combine. I have to look for my key words here. I have healthy exercise, responsible, and fun. Those are my 3 reasons. And new bike and a great gift, okay? Another word for gift is present. So I'm going to use the word present in my concluding sentence. So I start with my main idea. A new bike is the best present. Okay, so that means gift. This is an opinion word, right? The best present for me, you could say for me, or you could just say because. Now we use because I'm going to talk about 3 reasons. Let's see what card I have here for that. Remember, reasons answer the question why? Because. So why do I have this opinion? Because, here comes my 3 reasons. It, that would be the new bike, it would help me to be, here comes number 1, healthier. You can see that that's kind of an opinion word. To be healthier, more responsible, comma, and to have fun. So my 3 things do not have the same kind of pattern I have showed you before, where they all start with like the word be, or they all start, they don't all start with be, they don't all start with to, they don't all start with an ing word, but it's okay. They're short. I have be healthier, more responsible, and to have fun. So let's look at how I did here. Here is my, what color goes first? Green, right? Yes. All right, so green is my first reason. Healthy exercise, that's right here. Be healthier. So that's number 1, reason number 1. And my next one is to be more responsible. You hear that word more, right? That's one of my key words here. More. That lets us know I might be talking about an opinion. Responsible, more responsible. Not just responsible. The word more is important, right? It's saying having a bike would help me be more responsible than I am right now. It's comparing how would I be without a bike and how would I be with a bike. If you get me a bike, I can be more responsible. And then our orange square is about having fun, and so here's number 3, to have more fun. So this is number 3. And this one is number 2. And you can see that I have comma, comma, and. And here's my main idea. A new bike would be the best present. And I connect it to reason number 1, reason number 2, reason number 3. Now I need to add my transition words. So my transition words are, what's this one? To begin with. And this one is in addition. And this one is also. Okay, and then I want to number my sentences, so I'm ready to go. This will be sentence number 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, sentence 4. And this will be sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, sentence 4. And this will be sentence 1, sentence 2, sentence 3, sentence 4. So, before I start writing this down, I want to make sure that we see that this is an example of persuasive writing, because I am giving my opinion Where is my opinion? Here it is. I'm giving my opinion. That's that a best bike, did I say a best bike? That a new bike would be a great gift for me. I'm supporting my opinion with evidence because I am giving 3 reasons that answer the question, why would this be the best gift for me? I have 3 reasons: to be healthier, to be more responsible, to have fun. For each of those reasons, I'm giving, I should have a card that says examples. Examples Okay, so my examples here are about my muscles and my heart and my bones. My examples here are I would take care of it and I would use it for this and use it for this. And my examples for fun are that I could be with my friends, play baseball, and I would watch less TV. So those are 3 examples that give evidence of, that prove that this is a good reason. I'm not just giving a reason, I'm supporting it with 3 examples. The more examples I give, the more evidence I am giving, and the stronger my argument is. So the evidence is when I have reasons that I support with examples or data. My paper does not have data on it, but it does have examples. The better the examples or the better the data, the more my reasons are really good. And it would be hard for someone else to disagree with them. It would be hard for someone else to argue with me, to have an argument with me, if I have really good reasons that are supported by examples and data. Remember, data are facts. So if I'm supporting my opinion with facts, it would be hard for someone to disagree with me. And it is a fact that exercise makes your muscles stronger. It is a fact that exercise is good for your heart. It is a fact that exercise helps your bones. It is a fact that having a paper route is being responsible. That's having a job. It is a fact that taking care of something is being responsible. It is, you might say these are opinions, but these are good ones, right? Because I know that my parents want me to do things with friends, want me to play, they'd rather I play baseball than watch TV, because playing baseball is also good exercise and it's being outdoors. So if I do a really good job with my reasons and with my evidence, then I could maybe change their mind. I could persuade them to have the same opinion as me. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is turn our Foursquare into our 5 paragraphs. Now I'm going to show you here how it's all finished. It's a little bit hard to see this. Let me see if I have that all on here. Yep. Okay, it's a little bit hard to read, but I am going to just read this. I start with, and my colors here are different, so maybe I will read it by looking at this. Okay, so I say, "Dear Mom and Dad, a new bike would be a great gift for me. To begin with," let me get my green ready here. "Riding a bike," that's this, "riding a bike would be healthy for me." That would be check. Riding a bike would be healthy for me. When we make this sentence, we want to connect it to our main idea. Our main idea is about a bike. So I have to ask myself, how can I put the word bike and exercise in the same sentence? I say, riding a bike would be healthy for me. It would make my muscles stronger. Check. Also, riding a bicycle would be good for my heart. Check. As you know, exercise keeps my bones strong. Keeps my bones strong. Check. And then I'm done. Then I go to the next line, put down 2 fingers, make an X, start my next reason. In addition, comma. I have to to connect this word to this word. How can I put responsible and bike in the same sentence? I'm going to say having a bike would make me more responsible. So I make the subject of my sentence having a bike. This is a gerund phrase that will become the subject of my sentence. Having a bike would make me more responsible. I want to make sure I use the word more. Check. Now come my examples. I would take care of it and keep it out of the way. Check. If I had a bike, I would use it for doing my paper route. Check. See how I said that? I said, if I had a bike. That's a complex sentence. If I had a bike. I don't have one, but hey, Mom and Dad, if you get one for me, I could use it for my paper route. If is one of those purple words. And so what we see right after it is a subject and then a verb. If I had what? We can't just say had. We have to say had what? A bike. So that's a sentence, I had a bike. When I put if in front of it, if I had a bike, I need to connect it to here. I could use it for my paper route. So I would have to have, remember I didn't write complete sentences in these squares, but it would be I could or I would. That's even better. Could means, yeah, if I feel like it, maybe. Would means, I definitely would, if I had one. I would use it for my paper route, period. I would also, I try to sneak that word also in when I can. It's another transition. I would also use my bike to go to piano lessons, so my mom wouldn't have to drive me. Did you hear how I added that on? I said, so, let me use purple here because I'm in the purple square. So my mom wouldn't have to drive me. I was very sneaky in how I put that on because remember, I know my mom is the one reading this, right? And maybe she doesn't like driving me to all of my classes. So I could say, Mom, this would be so much easier for you. You wouldn't have to drive me to my piano lessons if I had a bike because I could use it to go to my piano lessons by myself. This is very persuasive, okay? I'm looking for places in my writing to convince my mom and dad, hey, what a great idea to get a bike for her. It will help us so much. Okay, check and done. Then we go to the next line. We indent and we want to think, how can we start with also, and then how can we put fun and bike in the same sentence? So I could say also, riding a bike is fun. Here my subject is riding a bike. This is also a gerund phrase. A gerund phrase. It begins with a gerund and then it has an object after it. There's my gerund, ing, and then riding what? A bike. Riding a bike altogether becomes a phrase that I can use as a noun to be the subject of my sentence. Riding a bike is fun. Also, comma, riding a bike is fun. Check. Okay, what's next? I would love to go on bike rides with my friends. It would also be fun to ride to the Little League park to play ball, or it would also be fun to ride to the park to play ball. Best of all, riding a bike is more fun than watching TV! Exclamation mark. Check. Okay, and then our grand finale. As you can see, a new bike is the best present because it would help me to be healthier, more responsible, and to have fun. Okay, so that is how I'm just going to show you it all finished here rather than and when I did this a long time ago, I was using different colors. So this one here should be red and then green and then purple and then orange and then black. Okay, so let's just do a quick review and then we are all done. Except all my cards now are all mixed up. Let's see what I can find here. Okay, so for the different kinds of writing, we talked about narrative writing. This is when we are doing what? Telling a story. And this can be a pretend story that's fiction, or it can be something that really happened and then it is nonfiction. But either way, we use transition words like one day, first, next, after that, then, finally, in the end. So that narrative writing is one. Then we talked about, I wonder if I have all my cards here. Everything is so mixed up here. Let's see. Let's see what I have. Oh, here's the one. Informative writing. Remember, with informative writing, we are giving information. Information is facts. And when we are doing that, we will have a main idea and we will have 3 details. We can write one paragraph where we put our main idea in the middle, detail 1, detail 2, detail 3, as you can see, and have just 5 sentences to be one paragraph. Or we can make a 5-paragraph essay by having this be one paragraph, a second paragraph, a third paragraph, a 4th paragraph, and a 5th paragraph. So, let's see here. So when we are writing, we might be asked to, there's my cards, to inform or to give information. We might be asked to describe or to give a description. That is when we help the reader feel like they are right there. They can see it, they can hear it, they can smell it, they can touch it. They know just what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like, what it smells like. We need to describe with adjectives that it's a blue lake, a green tree, a red bird. We can be asked to explain or give an explanation. This is to help someone understand. Explain how to do something, or explain why something happens, or explain what we are thinking. We help someone to understand. We can be asked to compare and contrast, to show how things are the same, like using the word both, or how things are different, using words like but or even though. We can be asked to persuade or to argue, to give an argument. When we are doing this, we are doing something called persuasive writing. This is when we give our opinion, but we do more than that. We really want to change someone's mind. We want to persuade them to have the same opinion as us. We want them to agree with us, not to disagree with us. So we are going to support our opinion with evidence. Evidence is when we list our reasons. Reasons answer the question, why do we have this opinion? Because. And for the reasons, we give examples or data. So here's our opinion. This is what we are trying to convince the person reading our paper or listening to us. We want them to agree with us, to change their mind and say, hey, you're right. That's a really good opinion. I agree with you. So for each reason we give them, we will have some examples or some data that support the reason, that are facts. Because when we support an opinion with facts, it makes it really difficult for someone to disagree with us, and it makes it easier for us to change their mind. Okay, the last thing to know is if you are doing narrative writing, we're using these kind of transition words, and if we are doing any other kind of writing, we're going to use words like this. To begin with, in addition, also, as you can see. So these are very good transition words to learn. This one here is for narrative writing, and this one down here is for writing when we have a main idea and a detail, and we could be doing persuasive writing, or we could be doing informative writing. Okay, that was a lot of new words today. Great job.